Howdy guys, Rex here. We're out here visiting with my good friend Dante. How you doing, Dante?
Hey, how's it going?
And?
Nicole,
okay. And so they just returned. I usually send folks that I like to fighting pistol when they start to get into pistol shooting, because pistol shooting is different than pistol fighting. And so they took their first course from Tactical Response called Fighting Pistol. So we're here to just kind of talk a little bit about that. Why don't you go ahead and briefly introduce yourself?
So Dante, I'm a high school science teacher, and I guess I've just kind of, more recently got more into training with my pistol or whatever. So
Sure, yep. So kind of a fresh page to start with. And you?
I'm Nicole, and I am a nurse, and I am a mom, and looking into what it would look like to do concealed carry if I needed to, so I can protect myself and my family and anyone around me. So
rock and roll. Okay, perfect. So who taught this course, and who else took it with you guys?
So James Yeager taught it, and then he had an assistant. I think his name was Lewis. And some friends of ours also took the class or whatever.
A couple other ladies were there.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So there was four of us that we knew each other, and then I think the class size total was 19. So it was a good class. So.
Who else do you think, after taking the class, you've had over a week to reflect on it, who do you think could benefit from it now that you've had the experience of having gone through it? Who would you recommend it to?
Anyone who owns a pistol or might want to own a pistol.
Is that a strong opinion on 1 to 5? How strong?
5.
5? Seriously? Okay. Why?
I am really happy to know how to use my pistol, and I can feel really confident about that. I wasn't so confident prior to taking this class, and now
Sure.
It feels good.
A lot of weapons handlings.
So, also for us, I mean, now this might not be for every situation or every couple, but I mean, we took it together, and we also thought, basically after taking it together, it was very good that we made the preparations and we did what we needed to be able to do that. Just because if one of us would have taken it, trying to bring home at least some of the information home and trying to communicate that to the other spouse, it just wouldn't have worked out as well.
Sure.
So,
a lot of information there, right?
What I learned, I wouldn't have been able to learn secondhand from my husband, and I felt that very strongly.
Sure. Yep. It's good to get training from a third party a lot of times on certain deals, right? Mm-hmm. And so kind of basically, what did you guys do at the course? What was the thing you focused on mostly at the course?
We focused on drills on drawing correctly and safely.
Mm-hmm.
We learned a good grip. I finally feel good about my grip, and that's what I was hoping to get out of that, was to finally have like a home base on my grip on my pistol, and I do. So there was a lot of drills just having to do with that specifically, and putting in that movement along with drawing.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, there was a lot of different kinds of drills that we did. I guess, I mean, I don't know how long the list really is, but I mean, and I would say we practiced each one a good amount. It wasn't, overextensive, as far as with each one that you would exhaust it so much or whatever, but I think part of the class is meant to that you're supposed to take these skills home and continue to train and practice them.
Roger.
Good practice, perfect practice, but yeah, there was I think more, in a sense, types of drills than I was initially expecting.
Okay.
I would also like to add, there was the retention shooting and practicing those kinds of things, and that is not something I feel like I would have done on my own in our own training.
Sure.
And I needed to be in that kind of an environment.
So that's an example of something that you learned that you didn't expect to learn.
Correct.
Okay. Yep. What did you learn that you didn't expect to learn? Something that you didn't realize you would learn?
Yeah, part of that also the retention shooting, as far as the concussion blast that you experience with being up close.
Yeah.
On the ground shooting, I had never done that. Also, racking on the belt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, basically, if you have to reload one-handed, I would never have maybe thought myself, or you know, or that was definitely a new skill, learned, trained on. So
that goes into equipment a little bit. What equipment were you guys running? What pistol did you guys run?
So I was running the Glock 22.
Okay, and what were you running?
A Glock 26.
Okay, and what kind of holsters or belts or other gear did you find that was helpful or that you would want to improve, or what did you learn about that whole deal with equipment selection?
So I had a IWB holster. It was the NSR Tactical. It had the strong loops on it. After the first day, I realized I had just a slight malfunction. I didn't put Loctite on my screws, and so I need to make sure I still haven't done that. I need to do that.
Those little details are important, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
But otherwise,
even on the holster, yeah.
Yeah, the holster held up though, and then I had 2 magazine pouches that were inside the waistband that I carried kind of on my like 7 o'clock or whatever.
Sure.
And that worked out really good for me. So.
Okay. How about you?
I had an in the waistband one as well. It actually was just a clip one, but that is a strong clip and it held up well.
Okay.
I didn't have any issues with it.
And you were doing appendix.
Yes, appendix carry.
I was doing 4 o'clock.
So. Okay. So what did you guys find at the training that you were best at? What was the part that you thought, hey, I'm good at this?
I mean, I guess since I had learned it before and practiced it some as well, as far as like scanning, like really taking the time. So don't just do a quick little ballet spin around or whatever. You know, actually like focusing on things, or trying to like critically look at stuff when you are scanning around you.
Sure. And you're a biology teacher as well, so you understand the implement. Yeah.
Right.
Why?
Making good observations
yes.
around you. So.
Yep.
Reloads, I guess, you know, tap rack. I don't think I had any issues there. So.
Sure. How about you? What did you do good with?
I guess as a nurse, I'm used to kind of high adrenaline situations, so I wasn't as exhausted after those days as I thought I might be, because I'm used to the high adrenaline days.
Sure.
And so I felt like I did pretty good in that intensity of the drills and everything, that I was able to focus and get her done.
Okay, so after taking the class, what are some things that you would find that you would want to practice more, that you found out, hey, I need to work on this a little more? What are some things there?
I think, you know, like racking on the belt or shooting on the ground, moving around. I mean, those are just brand new things. So, I mean, you know, I don't basically have much, or, you know, a long, extensive time of training with those.
Sure.
Malfunctions, that was also new to me. So, again, just practicing those again, just to really develop that strong muscle memory.
Okay. How about you?
Yeah, I think putting in the dead bullets, so you can practice that, and putting those into
the dummy rounds. Yep.
Dummy rounds on the move. You know, not when I'm just standing there, you know, and doing the dummy rounds, but practicing those when I'm in my other drills.
One unique observation I made looking at other people, or in a sense their targets, was so even guys that had good small groupings in general, or, you know, had good marksmanship, their grouping was smaller on the head target versus the heart. So when they're shooting at something that's this big, their grouping was like this.
It's a phenomenon. Aim small, miss small.
Right. But when they were shooting at the head, compared to their heart, like everyone down the line, their head grouping was smaller than their heart grouping, no matter their skill level. Yeah,
we talk about that a lot during the rifle classes too. That's a very common occurrence.
So, I mean, yeah, it was just like every single person, aim small, miss small. So it's so true.
So what general area are you guys from? Where'd you come from? Northern Great Plains, right?
Yep.
Okay.
I grew up on a ranch. You pretty much grew up in town.
And the course was in Pierre, South Dakota. This one was, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. What's the major benefits? Like the big, overarching, huge value?
I'd say for me, just help defining why I would be carrying a pistol, and that is to save a person's life. And just kind of the lecture and everything that he teaches in that portion was big for me, and it's hard to elaborate on that a whole lot, but
Sure.
it helped me, you know, kind of in my mind to wrap my head around why I would like to do concealed carry.
Sure. Yeah, in a martial context, people often think of fighting as a bad thing, but sometimes you might have to stop a fight to save somebody, right?
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I would echo that as well. That and he even had us write that statement down, basically that, you know, the reason I carry, and before I even put my finger on the trigger, I need to ask myself, you know, whose life am I about to save? Like, being able to, for me, that was kind of just how he worded it and how he expressed it was a paradigm shift a little bit for me, and also then now to be able to communicate that to other people who might have a skewed view or even just a different view of guns in general, or why a person would
Sure.
carry. Right, and then so that no one can impose their will on you. Just big mindset, big paradigm shift coming from the class.
Cool.
I'd say.
I'd also add, it was just really good how he talked about what the average person does in the high stress situation, and just really, you know, telling us how that muscle memory just really matters, and the way we choose to train helps us in those high stress situations.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'd say that. Yeah, add that too. That what he teaches you is he teaches you things or skills, mindset that are optimized for stress of what you would actually use in real life, not something that you would just use, you know, on the range or whatever, but basically to always treat your gun, always handle your weapon the way you would just learn it one way and do that all the time, and it's optimized for actually a stressful situation.
It's very practical.
Yep.
Very practical.
Yep. And what was it that made you choose tactical response as kind of a final question? Where'd you get that from?
I guess I think we mostly did it on friends' recommendation or whatever, but I mean afterwards, yeah, I mean we were very pleased with it. So
Cool. Well, thank you so much for participating in the interview. I always like to do after-action report with everyone, and it's good to go over what we learned so we can remember better. And thanks for being on.
Yeah,
Yep.
our pleasure.
Adios.